Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Guess what? We're still lost.
We're still lost. It's not good.
Especially after last episode.
Yes.
I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi,
And these two lovely ladies are...
Storm.
Kimmy.
And we're going to be watching episode 9 of season 3 of Lost. Last week's episode was really good. It was called Flashes Before Your Eyes. That makes sense. I mean, literally what he said. Flashes, right. Tom. Bing, bing, bing. Oh. But it's not good. I mean, he is able to prolong and keep Charlie alive, but his death will happen, it sounds like. And
no matter what.
The more
Imagine how rough that is for Desmond, though, just seeing him die like every other way.
Yeah. I mean,
it's gotta suck.
Even when he saw Claire, or he saw Charlie drowning and he went to go save Claire, and then seeing him with the lightning getting electrocuted, that was like 2 hours, right? And he even had to build that lightning rod before that, which probably took a lot of time. So the timing's all different. It's not the same. So he had a warning way ahead before Charlie would die to have time to set up the lightning rod. And then another time where it happened right when Claire was in the water, that he had to run immediately to save her.
But see, no matter what Desmond does, though, it's not always a guarantee. It's not always guaranteed that he's going to save Charlie's life.
Right. And is it going to happen with other people now? Is he going to see in the future other people's deaths?
I know what happens if he starts to see a lot of people too, you know? But he doesn't, who knows how much notice he's going to actually get. You know, so
I'm gonna start buying more magnets so I can see the future.
A key.
Missing something here. A key and a magnet.
It's just insane that he turned the key, flash of all these past memories that he tried to change, that he could alter, and now he has a photo. He had the photo, but that was from the altered timeline that he created in his memory when he did get the ring, and he was going to go through with it. That's how he got the picture. Then he decided that it was set. So having that picture from the future, kind of, that he already had with him, you know, made him decide again, I can't do this. I can't be there for you.
I wonder if the key was like, when he put the key in that slot and turned it, I wonder if it was like starting up like an alien spacecraft and maybe they shot him back into the past.
You know, isn't that fun how we think that way, where when something so out there happens, we're like, what else can it be? I mean, you have to make a story about it, some other connection. Aliens did it, you know, because it's so advanced technologies, and
we don't have to worry.
Teleported, and he can't alter his memories, and so I really feel bad for him. He was really in love with Penny, and
he was, and I wonder if that moment when he took the photo with her, if he got that picture, if it was the same moment as the original timeline that we saw. Like, we didn't see him get that picture taken, but did it happen parallel? Because
like timeline 2 versus timeline 1.
Yeah,
you mean?
Like, no matter how, you know, he was going to propose to her, that moment happened, but he changed everything else.
And you want to know, like, because I didn't notice a detail with the background or anything, but, you know, can you imagine, yes, like maybe the same thing happened, but slightly different, and the background might have been real the first time, and then the second time, you know, they happen to go past this guy who has backdrops similar to that, and maybe the picture, even though it's folded up and worn, you know, that he altered the memory, maybe the actual background changed too.
Right, because she had a boat. So it could have been a true marina, right? It could have been, they were at a, you know.
It's true.
Right? So you never know.
Yeah, and maybe his picture that he had on the island was the original first timeline, and then when he alter the memories, maybe it changed to a slightly different background or something. Who knows? But it's supposed to be the same. It could be
because
photo.
He didn't have a flashback in the second timeline of his original timeline, like when he was in the service, of how his father-in-law said no, and, you know, tried to pay him off to not, you know, be near his daughter.
So he's a variant.
Yeah.
Variants. I know he always related back to Loki.
Loki.
That's a fun show, guys. You should check it out if you haven't already. So shall we get into episode 9?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. 309.
Hasta la vista.
Shot through the heart.
Give love a bad name.
me one good reason to turn
Because we
around.
can't leave Jack behind.
Get more people.
What do you think Captain Bunny Killer's gonna do if he catches us?
Bunny killer.
Kill you.
Who is that?
Carl.
God loves
You
you
forgot
as he
about him?
loves you.
Jack's on his own.
She'll go back.
We're moving you.
Moving me where?
Someplace else, Jack.
Thanks.
Why?
What kind of people do you think we are, Jack?
Oh, I don't know, Tom.
Murderers?
Kind of people that would take a pregnant woman, would hang Charlie from a tree.
You see this glass house you're living in, Jack? How about I get you some stones?
Ooh. Yeah, her hands are
I think
behind her
that's part
back
of the
too.
plan.
Yeah.
Who's that evil lady?
Stop staring at me.
Look at those eyebrows.
She a Vulcan?
Dr. Jack wants soda, Dr. Jack.
Dr. Jones?
Cute kid.
No, I can't understand a word you're saying, right?
Dr. Jack.
Just be nice to Dr. Jack. He's
You're
coming.
welcome.
Joe, when you bend over. Hello.
She's beautiful.
Off goes her bra.
Oh, right. Ben told me you got into the surveillance room.
Nope. I saw that show that night.
We got no food, no water, and I can't steer in the dark.
Then I'll steer.
No.
Can't be stubborn.
You'll come ashore and
He'll
we'll
take us back.
Sure you ain't hungry?
No, James, I ain't hungry.
Don't be stubborn. You gotta eat. He's,
Shouldn't
he's
fight.
right.
Shouldn't fight
3 days
because you're
ago.
lucky to be alive.
He's gonna get shocked.
He's gonna know how to do it like right off the bat.
It's because I'm in trouble.
Trouble.
I just killed someone. That's why they put me in your room.
Danny. You're gonna tell her to start screaming. Make him feel bad.
Like a gunshot or something.
Very brave. Very
Very brave. Why? It's gonna be spicy.
My brother likes you.
Well, I'm
Huh.
a very likable guy.
Sawadee
Sawadee
What's that? Money.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
I was just reading your tattoos. The 5 and the stars are very cute. But the Chinese, I find a bit ironic. I'd like to talk to you and ask you a few questions.
Yeah, she's creepy on her own, just like her voice.
That voice is creepy. We toys can see everything.
Why don't you check on your father, sweetheart? I know he'd appreciate it.
Sweetheart.
Did Juliet ask you to kill Ben?
No, I was lying. I would have done anything to get my friends out. And turning you people against each other was my best chance of creating chaos.
And Juliet's very thankful.
Why are you lying for her, Jack?
I'd like to go back to my cage now.
Loser.
Who do you think? Are you having fun with me, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Then stop asking questions. Let's have fun.
I hope she has good intentions too. Who knows?
Like spectators watching him.
We're gonna have a hanging or something.
Yeah, right?
See,
What? Age 15, you were the stewardess.
Cindy.
Oh, that's right. She was taken just before Shannon died, right?
What are you doing here?
We're here to watch, Jack.
Watch.
oh God.
She wants to know how Anna Lucia's doing.
I was gonna say because she saved the kids.
Yes.
We tried.
Like all these people are just like so
Yeah,
calm.
Ben actually told Michael to kill and murdered her. he's
Oh, the
gone.
kid's gone.
Carl's gone.
The boat too. And you got smoke there. They're gonna know right where you are.
Ow! What the hell was that for?
So you'd cowboy up. Bobby, the Brady Bunch.
What the hell's the Brady Bunch?
Okay. Every now and again, there's one you name dumb stars with.
If I get caught,
They'll kill me this time.
Mm-hmm.
At least it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it sucks. It's not like a normal breakup or anything. It's just...
Ben, your father, is he still in charge? Will that woman Isabel do what he says?
Yeah.
Get me out of this cage.
Climb through the top.
The cavalry has arrived at last.
Does it hurt when I do this?
That infected tissue needs to be re-incised, debrided, and you need to be very closely monitored from here on out.
Your bedside manner leaves something to be desired, Jack.
He's heard that once or
Well,
twice.
then it's too bad you're stuck with me.
And here we go again. I've already given you a ticket off this island, Jack. What's it gonna cost me this time? Juliet doesn't care about you, Jack. She's one of us.
I know.
Do we have a deal?
She doesn't want to be.
Then get me something to write on.
Wow, you can't interrupt the meeting?
I feel like it's all a test.
That's where he gets his talking from.
Yeah. He's brown bagging it.
Don't follow.
You're the only American there. You're gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
Maybe she's a psychic.
It's probably not what you think. And it's probably dangerous. Tattoo.
You following me?
Your gift?
I am not a tattoo artist. I'm able to see who people are. I work. It's not decoration. It is definition.
Why not?
You are an outsider.
So you can sleep with me.
I'm not allowed.
Why are you getting like that?
A great man. This makes you lonely. And frightened. And angry.
Put it on me.
He gets so desperate and a little crazy.
This is against my people.
And that's where he gets the arm tattoo.
He never thinks about his actions.
He doesn't, and if he doesn't care about himself, like care about her, it's against what she believes in.
How the hell did you bring him here?
Let him go, Tom.
You're fast.
What's going on, Alex?
God, her voice is just so monotone.
Yeah.
Execution is off the table. He says the rules don't apply. He has, however, ordered her to be marked.
Marked.
Ooh, maybe she's there.
He doesn't look as happy.
He's scared.
He doesn't want to go near
Where are
him
you
now.
going? Hey, I know you.
Let go of me, man.
Whoa! And no one even interferes at all.
It's against their people for him to have him do it.
Holy crap.
You will get off a beach! You will leave this country!
Jeez.
She's just right there. She told him.
Who knows what they'll do to her? I don't know.
Put her on an island.
Yeah.
I heard you only liked them grilled.
I miss the toothpicks, too.
Small or big? Ooh!
Is that the Dharma thing? What is it?
Ow. That'd make you sick. What does that brand mean?
Yeah.
Probably like Trader or something like that.
Are you coming or not?
Should I walk beside you or 10 paces behind you?
I know you did it because you thought I was a dead man. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go.
That hurts him.
Your tattoos. That's what they say.
And you're a creepy lady.
That's what they say. It's not what they mean.
No, they're both looking up.
I'll never let go, Jack. King of the world.
I don't know how to
That
take
was
that.
a Titanic moment.
I know.
You're full of it today.
He is.
I don't know how to take that. How about you guys?
Well, he did the right thing by saving her, but she's marked forever. And it's just like probably when she got marked, it's probably the same meaning as what his marking is. I don't
It's
know.
so complicated.
Like, she's part of them, but she's not really, with them.
So similar to Jack or something?
Yeah.
And he even said, like, that's what my tattoo says, but it's not what it means.
Right.
So that interpretation, what does that mean? So he walks amongst them, but is not one of them. I mean, literally, he isn't part of their group. And he's being imprisoned by them and all that. But it could have multiple meanings. But I can't get my head around, because I just don't trust anything. And it sucks that Juliet got branded, but here I'm like, the others will do anything. I mean, look at Ben putting himself at risk, getting kidnapped by our group and risking his own death, which he kind of assumed they wouldn't. But who knows? They beat the crap out of him. Saeed almost killed him. Like, so he'll go to those lengths. So what will Juliet go to? Like, is she really with Ben? Is she still testing Jack to make him one of them? And I feel like, is that brand really a bad brand? Is it like a promotion saying, hey, now you passed this test to convince Jack to be with us?
Do you think that maybe Ben has the same foresight as Desmond?
What makes you think that?
Well, he's very trustworthy as to his own actions. Like, when he gave himself to the group and knowing that, or assuming that he wasn't going to get killed,
right.
Maybe he saw that he wasn't going to get killed, and that's what he did it for. And maybe he saw that, by doing these particular actions that Jack was asking for, he was going to get what he needs or get what he wants out of him.
Could be.
You never know. I mean, he could definitely be like that, because he knew the plane was going to crash, and he knew everything about everyone before they even connected to each other. I mean, look, these people crashed on the island to begin with, and no one from the others even had any humanitarian effort to help them. They just immediately just sabotaged them. I mean, not immediately, but the back of the plane, the tail, those people were sabotaged, really. I mean, inch by inch, every night they were taking people.
Yeah, taking a handful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was bizarre going on that. Like, the stewardess and, Cindy and the kids were there, and the other people from the plane were there just watching something. What were they going to watch?
Yeah, like, ooh, Jack, now he's the outsider, and what are they going to do with him?
And they were, mesmerized, oh, this is a good thing.
I know, they were shocked by how Jack was acting like he's caged and dirty right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, why are you acting like this with this little girl here? Like, you think he's going to be positive in a cage?
I mean, he's probably thinking that they all know what's going on, and they're kind of taunting him, but they probably don't know what's going on.
They looked pretty oblivious. Who knows if they drugged, the others drugged them or whatever.
Well, they're probably only being fed certain information. Not the whole story.
And because Ben and some others know that, know so much about the group that the ones that they kidnapped before, they knew they would be easier to mold or something. So they probably fed them lies or just certain information, like you said, Tom, where they think, oh, this life isn't so bad, this is good. And they have actual nice clothes on. And it's clean, so it seems like they've been not pampered, but living more normal, normal lives, part of a community. And now seeing Jack in a cage, now he's looking to be more, he has been aggressive since we brought him here, and making him look bad or something. So now they're kind of
that's all part of the conditioning process.
Yeah, they're all distraught because now it looks like Jack's the bad guy. Him leashing out on them, yelling at them.
Yeah,
and it treating you so well, and
right, and it's almost relating to his tattoo of, he is, and his real meaning was, like what his girlfriend said. I think that was in Vietnam, because that's what he told Sawyer about. Remember when they were talking about going to Vietnam, and he knew some city name, and no, Sawyer said something about a city name in Vietnam, and Jack knew. One of them knew about Vietnam, and they've both been there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe his girlfriend, was right when she saw, a vision of him, who he is. He's a leader, and maybe that's.
Now, since you brought that up, I wonder if we looked more carefully in the background if Sawyer was back there somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they knew about the same place. They knew about that place.
Huh.
Where he got his tattoo, so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Going to Jack now, getting that tattoo, I mean, he's always, like, on the cuff with things, but, like, the fact that he got aggressive towards her and, like, shoved her against the wall, like, he immediately, because he didn't know what this gift was, and he got himself involved with her. Like, yeah, she went up to him to help him with a kite, and she was flirty and stuff, but he also accepted that and wanted it, and, still slept with her not knowing what her gift is, and then follows her, then gets aggressive with her. He's at fault there. Like, he completely was untrusting, and he got into a relationship way too fast, and then was insecure about it, follows her, and then pushes her to do something that she's crying, and he's forcing her to do something against her will.
Well, we've seen his aggression like this before.
Yes.
I mean, he goes from calm to, completely enraged and like
disoriented almost. Yeah, like his eyes, like he's such a great actor.
And when he gets ticked off, he just smiles a little bit. Always when he gets like, when someone says something, he's like
adrenaline, and he's just like,
I'm gonna,
kind of like
gonna do what I say.
Yeah, but he just gets so irrational for somebody who has such a talent for surgery and all that kind of stuff. He's so irrational when it comes to everything else.
She was spot on with what she said about him. She was spot on. That he's not only a leader, but he's going to be lonely, and he does have. I don't think she used the word aggressive, but he's going to be assertive, and he is. He tries to get, and even how he's not stalking her, but he's like following her, and she's like, just like what he did with Sarah.
I mean, he's the only American in that area. It's like he's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. It's like, hey, who's that weird guy following?
Yeah.
Seriously,
he's very confident to be so determined to follow her to find out what she's doing, and then. I felt really uncomfortable in that moment where he's intruding in her business, and she tells him not to worry about it or something, and he accepts it, sleeps with her anyways. They've already had, they've been probably together for a little while, because it didn't seem like it was the first time sleeping together, how casual. Yeah. So, here he's in her establishment, she's really disturbed and freaked out by it, yet he's acting like he's in the right being there, and kind of like dominating it, and then saying, well, I want this. And I know he's insecure about himself too, in a way. Like, I guess he wants that to prove like who he is as well, and he gets a little manic, and to have her do that, I mean, it sucked. It was crazy how everyone there in that community attacked him, like all these really nice people, but he disrespected the culture. Like, he didn't understand what that was.
Yes,
and
first and foremost, he did.
Yeah, and I don't want them
not for
attacking
nothing
him.
too. When he was stalking her and he barged in, not knowing what was ahead of him, he could have walked into like a gang scene and he could have been shot.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was totally thinking. Yeah.
And she and her true self wanted to be separated from that life, probably, and that's why she probably sought out someone that wasn't from that culture, that didn't know anything about her. She was trying to really separate herself from her true life to just try to have some kind of a different happiness just for herself that no one else has to know about. But he invaded that, and he made her do something that was against her culture. She wasn't supposed to do that. And I think she really fell for him.
It's just weird how quickly he went from calm to enraged, and then forced this on her in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and she went ahead.
A little possessive, like I'm your boyfriend, or I'm this.
But he didn't even try to like learn like
why.
I see the people within. It's like, well, can you tell me a little more about that? And
Yeah, like, why is it forbidden? Why can't we do this? Instead of being like, no, do it. You could see people, you know who I am, then show me. Like, it was too selfish. I didn't like that. But it was cool to see where he got it, Like, we're seeing all these things with these characters that we've seen on their body, whether it's like scars and then, in this case, a tattoo. But You know, it's interesting to see. Like, I just didn't think that. Like, oh, how would he get a tattoo like that? I mean, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but he seems very straight and narrow with being a doctor. And I love tattoos, but I just didn't see that, like, artistic side of him, really, when it came to stuff like that. So I wanted to know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
he almost seems bipolar.
Yeah.
I think this was probably after his divorce from Sarah. He just wanted to go on a little hiatus, a little vacation, just to get away from it all before, you know, he went back. But and I think that is also like a memento of sorts of saying, like, I do want to belong. You have to make me belong. I have to belong somewhere. Like, yes, this is just from your culture, but you know, I deserve it too. I am worthy of it. And he was completely wrong. He shouldn't have had it.
It's just like, it reminds me with how he acted towards his father when he got all paranoid about his, you know, future ex-wife and stuff, because they were still going through the process right then. So, you know, and he kept saying, well, you're sleeping with her too, or something. And really going off the rail, like, you know, that was disturbing to see that too. I mean, that's kind of how I felt in that moment, where it's like he just kind of makes it about himself and then gets very aggressive and just attacks who's ever there, you know? I don't know. Like, I really like Jack, but it is good to see that no one's perfect. Like, a lot of people do have good sides and dark sides.
And he's a wonderful leader. I mean, he really is. I mean, he is level-headed when he needs to be, and then he's human. I mean, we're all human.
He's kind of like his father, though. I mean, maybe not, you know, a drunken rage, but, you know, he's kind of like his father, where he can be irrational at times just to get something to happen. You know, it's just, it kind of like irks me, because it's for someone who needs to be so calm-headed when they're doing surgery. How can they be so different on the outside?
Yes,
you know, it's just so weird.
Yeah,
and
mix. I mean, he is really good when it comes to saving lives and stuff, but other times, you know, he is one way or the other. It's never consistent, you know, like he's really on the fly when not, I guess when he's insecure or something and he needs to...
That's a perfect word for him, insecure.
Find validation or something.
Insecure.
I don't know, but then, you know, he's such a great surgeon too, and when he says he's going to save a life, he will commit to that and do it, which is great, you know, and that's why he saved Ben in the first place. But I don't know. I mean, I really do love seeing this about these characters. And going to Sawyer now and Kate, how do you guys feel about that? Like, how they are acting towards each other right now?
Well, you instantly saw the guilt with Kate. And I truly believe that she truly is in love with Jack. She does love Sawyer, but like Sawyer said, I think that, you know, he had to clear the air, because she wanted to go back and, you know, save Jack. We have to go back there. He's being more logical. Like, look, you just saw what happened to us. We got to get out of there. We have to go get more of our people and go back. We can't just turn around and go back. We have nothing. They're going to kill us.
Just capture us again.
They
so
barely
he was
got
being
out
more
alive.
logical, where she was being more emotional. Like, I have to go get him. He's my true love. That's how I took it. And he had to clear the air, and you can just see it in his face. I thought he was so sad by that. Like, it truly was true that she had a moment with him, but it wasn't, you know, a long-lasting moment.
Yeah, and going back to what I said, I don't know when, but like a few episodes ago, and, you know, we all love Sawyer and Kate together. They are so alike in many ways, and they're hot-headed and stubborn a lot of times. They're very strong people. And I thought as a relationship, like, you know, they're really attracted to each other. They really do care for each other, maybe even love each other. I could definitely see that. Sawyer definitely does. And Kate does have strong feelings for him. But they're too much alike in a negative way, where their personalities are great. But when it comes to meshing personalities or meshing the same person with how strong and stubborn they can be, that's going to clash a lot. So I think... if, say, everything works out, they get Jack back, I think them staying together wouldn't work out anyways, just because, they'd be butting heads all the time. And
You can see them button heads all the time.
yeah, but there's also an obstacle right now because there's a lot of guilt because they just escaped and left a friend behind, whether they love him or not. They care for him, and they,
But you know what?
she wants to go back because she feels guilty, and he
even if it doesn't work out with Sawyer and stuff, Sawyer's got a maid though. He's got that big stack of pornos back at his stash. And he's good to go.
Not if Charlie takes it.
I know, Charlie's like, thanks. One for everybody, share it.
Hey, I'm gonna die. Desmond just told me I'm gonna go look at them all.
Yeah, it's like screw it all, right?
I'm in the woods, leave me alone.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Sawyer though, because you could tell like he's heartbroken. He truly does love Kate, and he's saying that to Carl as well. I mean, it's going to be hard, and I think now that they were together, they're going to be a lot more strained, and it's going to be even worse until they get Jack back. And even then, things might happen between Kate and Jack. I don't know, but right now I think it's at its worst because Jack is gone and they need to save him. And then I think it's just going to be a confusing mess after that because Kate's not going to know what she wants.
Do you think Juliet will be thrown in as another love triangle with Jack?
It seems like it, but I don't trust anything because I'm like, maybe she was promoted, maybe she wanted that brand, and they just staged everything because they're so good at staging. But she did kill Danny. She did kill someone. So
I know you can think about Alex like that too. I mean,
I'm still paranoid about her too. I don't know.
But I truly feel right now, in this episode we just saw, that Juliet is being honest, and that and I think they really were going to execute her, and I really think she is thankful that Jack saved her. Mm-hmm. And I really think it's a real thing, and Alex is a real thing.
I don't know, because I think that they're really good at acting. That
I know, like when she was going by with her handcuffs and like.
Yeah, it's like they deliberately made them pass each other. Mm-hmm. And then he sees her through the crack of the door, up in the front of the room.
Because he has to fix it. Fix her.
Well, not even that, but just they know he has to fix it. So they know that if the more he sees, the more likely he is to do what they want without them knowing, him knowing that they want him to do that.
I know.
Mind games. This is the mind game.
Yeah, that they just stage everything. Because right from the start, Carl's in a cage across from Sawyer and escapes and says, "Oh," and tries to help Sawyer escape. Down to that, and he's been mind controlled. Who knows if it was after that, even before he might have been conditioned as well. Like that could have been the beginning. I feel like everything
too much time on their hands in this island.
Well, it's like they could have planned him to be in that conditioning chair so that when they find him, they would feel bad for him.
Yes.
And be like, oh my God, he's a victim too, and it's really not. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, because now that Carl's there. And they did that cut at the end that was kind of hard to tell, but when we saw Sawyer and then it transitioned because it was dark, and then we see Carl, and then he's looking at the constellations, and then we see Alex. I was like, did he stay close to Sawyer and Kate? Did he not actually run away then? Like, I thought he was actually in the same vicinity, or it was just a transition. Because maybe he won't leave them, because maybe if he is conditioned correctly by the others, he's supposed to watch them and stay with them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might have been like, they're going to let you go. We want you to stay with them, but make it seem like it's your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think he does really care for Alex. But
I'm sure he does.
But yeah, like I feel like I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, she smashed the camera to talk to Jack about why did you save my dad, but I really just think it's all a stage.
Yeah, they'll get a new camera in the next drop.
Yeah, and I think Alex knows that she's going to be cool because she's the boss's daughter. For now.
I mean, they keep her controlled, but yeah, like I think that might be a fake.
I think she's the only one who's, kind of like a free spirit, so to speak. Mm-hmm. She might not have been conditioned the same way because she's the boss's daughter.
Yeah.
And that's why she's willing to help, but things get screwed up so much.
You know who I do like is Tom. He's just like this big lug that just
that name
does what he's supposed to do.
He seemed so scary and tough when we first saw him. Now it's kind of like, oh, okay, just move over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like he was kind of weird. He was kind, but he was very weird when he was giving the clothes to Kate when they first got captured.
Yeah, we were kind
and he was taking a shower and he's like, no, you're not my type. And he just seemed very nice, but he seemed very creepy, and we were like, oh my God, what kind of... But now that we're seeing him more, and then talking to Jack and stuff like that, he just seems like he's like the go with the flow kind of guy. I have to do what I have to do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just...
I can see him and Jack kind of connecting and starting to trust each other down the road if they have more time together.
Yeah.
What about Miss Vulcan there, Miss Monotone?
I couldn't help saying that because her eyebrows go up so hard, like so high, and then they like sharply go back.
Her voice has bothered me so
eyes.
much. It's just she's like
The
Ben
sheriff.
Stein of their group.
Mm-hmm. And that's supposed to be more intimidating. So we don't like her. We don't know anything really about her at all.
Well, every time she spoke, even to her own people, it always sounded like she was talking sarcastically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude,
intimidating. Yeah. And they had Juliet on trial, like a true trial.
I thought that was stage 2, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. The more believable they
True.
make it, the more Jack's gonna fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's making plans to save her. And I keep asking her, why do you want to save her for?
Mm-hmm.
And
they always ask those questions, just like Alex. She's also asking Jack that too. Like everyone's like, why? Like they want to know. Ben wants to know, why do you want to save Juliet? Like they keep asking to understand their decision making. Well, and they're all smiling in their own way. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what does it really mean?
Just don't forget though, when you do experiments, you have to ask all the questions in order to get all your answers.
Mm-hmm.
So and they do a lot of projects according to Carl.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Jack's just another project.
Crazy.
Big time. And they come to find out they don't live on that island. They only work there. That's what they're saying now, like the sheriff was saying.
Some commute.
Yeah.
They all commute, it sounds like, and they live on the main island.
Yeah, and
so do they live in that other facility that they all left?
That big compound?
The one that they took Claire to?
I don't know. I
think that one
so.
that Claire went to,
that was all abandoned.
That was all ruined after a while, right?
Yeah, it was all.
It was still intact, just that they cleared it out.
They cleared it out.
It wasn't ruined,
messy
though.
Way, though.
Messy way, but they might have left in a hurry for whatever.
Like to, fake beards and stuff.
I would think they would have like houses and stuff like that we saw a while ago with Juliet and Ben.
Oh yeah, when we first learned how they saw the crash coming.
Oh yeah, because Carl said they had backyards.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what.
Right.
So that's where they're going home. I just hope that and too bad Jack doesn't know where they're going because. Now our guys, Kate and Sawyer want to go back there. Well, Kate wants to go back there. They're going to try to go get Jack off that island and try to find that spot. And they know that they're going to try to come back. Mm-hmm. So, too bad Jack couldn't say, I'm going to home or wherever. But he doesn't know where they are going. So, unfortunately, it's going to be a dead end when they get there.
He might learn more, too.
Home is where your rump rests.
Yeah, home is where your rump rests. Yeah, so this episode's title is called Stranger in a Strange Land. So it all comes together with Jack's flashback and then having that tattoo meaning. So, I don't know. I feel like he's going to stay with the others for a while and he's going to get really familiar and maybe learn certain locations, maybe even use the constellations through Alex or something, and then be able to guide himself through the island to find his friends. But I really hope Juliet's telling the truth and she will be a good friend to Jack and they can escape together. But I'm paranoid.
Like they just have to work together.
I wonder if Alex will ever meet up with her mom again.
If that is her mom, we're kind of assuming that it's Danielle, right?
I bet you it is. Bet you there's something going on there.
Because that's what she was saying, like Alex, and she's been looking for her, so that would be crazy to see. Yeah.
And how weird is that they are Alex's parents, like Danielle trapped Ben to give to Saeed. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, what's going on with them?
Tied together.
We need to know more about that.
Man, just being test subjects and you have no control over it just really sucks completely. The whole idea
we got 4.5 seasons left to figure it out.
I know, so it's always the same questions, but I love it. It's fun to guess, and I think we talk about this one the most out of everything. Like we had long reviews, but it's consistent mainly with Lost.
It's like you might get an answer to one question, but you get 10 more new ones to figure out.
Yeah, and then you're still unsure.
Yeah, and then we all have different ideas of what's going to happen.
Then you doubt your answers. Like, wait, well, what if?
Right, I'll say something and you'll say, I'm like, oh yeah, you're like, Tom?
We never know. But hopefully Charlie will survive. I mean, from last episode, I'm just nervous and watch like something else throw us for a loop and someone else actually gets killed trying to stop his death.
For the next like 6 seasons, all you see is just Desmond in the background just doing something to prevent Charlie's death.
He's like sweating all the time. I'm so very tired. He needs like a group of people so he could be like, hey, do this, do this, do this. But yeah, it's just insane. But on that note, guys, love you so much. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we'll see you very soon, as
Thanks for
always.
watching Titanic with us. I mean, Lost.
Well, next episode we'll do that. King of the World. Bye, guys.
Bye.